All right, what's going? Today is November 28th, 2024 on Thanksgiving, around 11 p.m. Today I want to talk about the problem with love in the Generation Z. Um, in the older generations, it was much different when it comes to finding love, dating, and things like that. And now, in our generation, um, it came or it's a little bit harder in our generation. And it's probably gonna continue through Generation Alpha. And I feel like a big contributor to the problem with finding love or a great relationship in our generation is, I would say, social media. Because when you think about it, the older generations, they didn't have the ability to go on dating apps, or they didn't have the ability to go on things like Instagram and just DM people, or have unlimited access to millions of people 24/7. But now with our generation, we have that ability, which, gives us the illusion, or you probably heard it before, gives us the illusion of having options. But in reality, we really don't have those options. You know what I'm saying? But now our whole generation think they got options just because they got 52 girls liking a post, or 52 girls following them. You know what I'm saying? No, no, those 52 girls, don't all like you, or they all, are not into you. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. So now we have the illusion of, having options. And that becomes a problem because, when you're in a talking stage with one person and you just feel like you got options, and you got a whole roster, you can just bounce around, from one person to another person. And it's a really, bad thing. Versus in other generations, it was more so, you meet people in your circle, whether it was at the college you went to, or the job you worked at, or people you had, friends with. You met them through a friend. You had, but now it's more so, I could just go on a dating app, meet somebody, or it's just these crazy things. But with the problem with everybody thinking they got options, which is really not true, because all of those quote unquote options are not looking for the same thing, or they don't have the intentions, or the good intentions, you know what I'm saying, that you would think. And everybody thinking the grass greener on the other side when it's really not. So the problem with finding love in Generation Z is ultimately people thinking they have the illusion of options. People thinking they have options because of social media, because they have 52 likes from a girl, on social media. Stick with the people who stick with you. Choose the girls who choose you. I'm telling you, choose the girls who choose you. And it's not worth, chasing after a girl, you know what I'm saying, because they like your picture, or, follow you on Instagram, or entertain you. A lot of these girls, they just entertain, you. But they don't really, like you. They entertain you because they just bored. You know what I'm saying? Now the other gender, women, thinking they got options, because you texting back, chasing them. You know what I'm saying? But that's where the conflict comes in at. Now both genders, men and women, thinking they have all these options when the intentions by all these quote unquote options are not the same. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like another contributor to that is music. It's music. Those two combinations are contributors. Music that we listen to, you know, that talk about having, you know, all these, you know, rosters and having multiple, you know, women and having, you know what I'm saying? It's just music contributes to it as well. The stuff we listen to. Don't believe, you know, in that stuff. Or don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't take it to heart. And I feel like it separates, especially when young people doing it, they take it and they believe in it. They believe it's true. And it's really not true. You know what I'm saying? It's really not true. Ain't nothing wrong with having. Ain't nothing wrong with having one girl. You don't gotta have a roster. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta have a roster. Ain't nothing wrong with having one girl. And I feel like our generation so young that we, I guess, get brainwashed into thinking having a roster, you know, is so cool. But is it really? You know what I'm saying? Just think about all the impact of having, you know, a roster, or all the risk you take when having a roster, versus having one solid girl by your side. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just something to think about. It's not all that great having a roster. So I think music and social media are the biggest two contributors to having, you know, or having love, you know, in this generation. And we gotta step down and come back to reality. Gotta come back to reality and not compare our, you know, relationships to relationships on the internet. That's another thing. Comparing relationships to relationships on the internet. And I think that's the point where they came out with the 100 0 or 50-50 and debating all that other stuff. Social media again just, you know, gets in the way of it. You know, now one gender thinking, oh, he should pay for all the stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how it is, man. Shouldn't, you know, don't let these, you know, social media influence the way your relationship is running how, you know, if you really love that person, you know, if you really love that person, y'all gonna make it work. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna make it work. Ain't no social media gonna influence, you know, y'all two to be like, I guess, this crazy couple, or this, you know, this couple that have the illusion of being so great. So don't let social media get in the way of this, or of the opportunity that you have of finding love and finding genuine love. Step back to reality and forget all this social media and music stuff. I'll see y'all later.